Hey everybody, this is Rich. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see here. Hey, we're gonna get started. It's a nice spring day. It's a little bit blustery out, but I wanted to get a jump start on my spring garden. So need to do some revamping of my raised bed garden. So we're gonna rebuild it basically. So stay tuned and we're gonna go ahead and get started and I'm gonna show you what we're doing. So here is my raised bed garden. Previously I had I believe I had two sets of 2x6s stacked up, and that gave me a little over, just a little over 10 or 11 inches of height of my bed. So we're gonna go a bit taller this time around, and I'm gonna reduce the size of the bed a little bit. But one of the first things that I need to accomplish is I used to have 3 individual beds, and that's why I had 3 shut-off valves for separate drip irrigations for each planter box that I had. Since I've kind of gone to a one hole long thing, I'm just going to have one shut-off valve and I'm going to do away with the other ones. So here are the boards that I was able to purchase. So I got a set of 2x12s. So what I plan to use is these are 2x12x8s, and I plan on cutting these in half to give me my 4-foot widths. And so I got 2 of them. So I got one for one side that'll be, stacked, and then this is going to be my opposite side. And then I got 4 of the 2x10 or 2x12 by 14 I was able to get. Didn't necessarily think I needed 16. I think 14 is probably plenty big enough for what we typically use. So just making it a little bit smaller than I had before, and it was a little less expensive to go with the 14s rather than the 16s. This lumber is not treated, so because it's a vegetable garden, I'm not using pressure treated wood. It's just regular dried kiln wood that you can get at the store. Just don't want that leaching out into my vegetables. Doesn't last as long, obviously, but I just want to make sure that, I'm not getting any unnecessary chemicals in my veggies that I don't particularly want. So I got the end boards cut down to size, so those are going to be 4 foot, and these are my 12-foot length pieces. And I'm not cutting these down. I'm going to let them, just going to run the full length of the 12 foot. But I do want to stack the boards on top of each other, and I want to be able to secure them. So I'm going to be using like decking screws, so exterior screws, but I'm going to put them in like I'm going to put a pocket. Because of my pocket hole jig, you can remove one side to be able to do bigger boards like 2x4s or 2x6s, or in this case 2x12s. So I'm going to go ahead and drill a couple of pocket hole recesses and all the way across this board. So I'm basically going to go every 12 inches. So I'm just going to make a mark at every 12 inches so that I know where to make my drill holes. So essentially all you really have to do is, typically this is the bottom, so you want to make this flush with the bottom of the board, and then you want to go ahead and clamp it into place so that you can drill. And that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I just where the marks are, I'm just trying to line it up as best I can. And then I've got my step bit that I'm going to put. So I've got 2 different drill points. This higher point is more of at an angle for for 1¼ and 1½ inch thick boards. So I'm putting it in here and then making my drill. And then we just repeat the process all the way down. Okay, now it's just a matter of repeating this process on this board for the other side. And then we can go ahead and begin to assemble them. Okay, now that I got the boards all pre-drilled for pocket screws, well, not really pocket screws, I'm going to be using exterior coated 3-inch screws to put into there. So now that I've got them together, I can go ahead and attach one board to the other board. But to do that, because they're not quite perfect and they've been sitting outside, they started to warp a little bit. I need to clamp them together so that they're nice and snug together before I screw them into place. So we're going to use just clamps to do that. And now that we got one of these done, we can go ahead and repeat the process with all the other boards. We've got to do one more length of this, and then we got to do the 2 short sides. So I cut 2 36-inch boards that I am going to attach to the center of this and then dig a hole in the ground so that this can provide some support so that the dirt doesn't want to push it out. You can, if you don't really care about the look of it, you can put this on the outside to kind of keep it in. I had that the last time I did it, and it was just a little difficult, trying to trim around it and going with my lawnmower on the outside. It's not a huge deal, but it was one area where it ended up getting caught by my lawnmower and got messed up. So I'm going to put it on the inside. It's not as strong that way because it's basically just using the screws to hold the wood in place, but better than no support, and I think that's what I'm going to try this time around. And it'll make for a cleaner exterior fascia on it, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. So I need to mark a point in the center of the board and then attach it. So I'm going to make a couple marks at 70.5 and 73.5, and that's actually going to be the width of the 2x4. That way I know when I put it on here that it's going to be square. These are 2.5 inch. I don't want it going through the back side of this. So I got like 4 of these straps that I'm going to be attaching to the outside of the long runs of these boards. So what I'm planning to do is run it about 4 foot in and then another 4 foot in from the other side. So kind of splitting it into thirds. And then just putting 2 screws here and 2 screws there, and that's just going to help give it a little bit of support so it doesn't separate over time. Just a little extra strapping that I plan to use. And I just painted these semi-gloss black with a can of rattle can paint, and we're just going to go ahead and install these. Okay, this one's ready to be installed. It's pretty level right now. I'm starting to lose light, so I'm probably going to quit for right now, and I'll come back in another day and try and finish it off. Now that I've got all the boards connected, it's just a matter of putting everything together. So it's been a couple days. Actually, we got some rain, and so this was a little bit wet, so I had to wait until it was a little drier to work on it. Still a little bit wet, but we're back at it, and I want to try to finish up putting the box together. So let's go ahead and continue where we left off. So I was able to get this board into place, and now I want to go ahead and attach it, and then I'll go ahead and attach the other side. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and do is I'm going to put a ratchet strap on this thing to kind of keep it tight together so that I can put some screws in it. It's just going to make screwing it together a lot easier. Not too bad. So I'm just taking a little stick and kind of wedging it up in there to maybe lift it up a little higher. Okay. So that's tight. And I can put a couple of screws in there, and that should keep it together until I put the brackets on. I've got these little L brackets that I'm going to attach. I'm going to do 2 and 2. 2 on this board and 2 on this board all the way around. That'll help kind of keep it strapped together. But I am going to put I'm going to put 3 screws in it, and then this will also be help hold it together. But this is just going to be kind of temporary until I get those screws attached. So I'm going to be using 3-inch deck screws. So they're exterior screws, and we just screw them into place. So I hit it with a little hammer because it's got an indention right there, and that way it'll lay flat on the board. To do that, I ended up knocking my paint off. I'll have to do that. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll just use this one, and I'll have that sacrificial one there, and then I'll just repaint that one when I'm ready. These are 1.5-inch screws, but because I'm putting it over top of this metal plate, it won't go through it. Okay, so that's nice and pretty flush right there. Looks good all the way down. I only got one screw in here, but I mean, if I put a screw in here, it's not really doing much because I need it to pull together on that one. But that should work. It should suffice. It's already got 3 screws in it, and it should hold for a couple of years anyway. So now it's just a matter of going and fitting this one into place. So that's the next step. That's not too bad. Alright, so I've got this wedged up to where it's going to be just about level with this one. And now I just need to put the ratchet strap back on and kind of pull that closer, and we should be good to go. Alright, I got it tight up here, so I'm going to put a screw in it here and here, and then I'll close it. Move the strap down a little bit because it's kind of warping out like that. But I'll pull it in. So just wanted to show you, I needed to dig out this this area. I put some dirt in here, but it's really soft and mucky. I almost lost my shoe here because it rained a couple days ago. But I did want to show you that I had an elbow just underneath this area that I ran a new pipe up and over. So it's coming out right here. So I'll attach the final once I'm done. But I just wanted to get it in the ground so that I can fill in this dirt and then go ahead and dig out for that support that I have for this side, just to keep things from bowing out too much. And as you can see, whoa, oh, almost lost my shoe. I stepped in it again. Ah! Wow, it's soft there. Whoops. Won't do that. Try not to do that again. But I did want to show you that I got the level, and it is pretty much spot on right there. If I need to make adjustments, I can knock down this side or knock down that side a little bit. But let me go ahead and get these two attached, these two sides, and then I think we can button it all up. Check this here, see how that is. That looks pretty good. So I think we're doing pretty well here. Just put this here. It's a little off. This could be up a little higher over here on this side. But I'm losing light again, so I will follow up in the morning. Okay, so now that we've got this all put together, we just need to make sure that it is square. So to do that, we're just gonna take a tape measure and measure diagonally across and make sure that both measurements are equidistant. And it's not gonna be perfect, but it'll be pretty close, because obviously there's differences in the length of the boards. I never cut these boards. They were 12-footers from the store, and I just went with what the measurements that they had. So this measurement is 155 inches. So we're at 153. So if we move this side down by an inch, we should be pretty close to equidistance, and that'll make a square. So I'm gonna just take a wood block and kind of beat it a little bit, and hopefully we can get it to slide over just a slight bit. Okay, so I've got 153 3/4 and 154 on this one, so we're about an eighth of an inch off on the distance there. I'm not going to worry about it. It's not moving too much more at this point. It's the posts that are in the center are kind of locking me into a position that I've got at this point. I'm fine with it. It's not a huge deal. It's close enough. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. At this point, it's done. We just need to go ahead and kind of clean up this dirt and put it in the box, and kind of grade the area that we've got. And then I can go ahead and add the irrigation shutoff valve right there for for the drip irrigation, and then we'll be pretty much all set. All right, so before I put all this dirt back into place, I want to add the riser to the top of this. So I didn't want to do it until after I had this up, so I knew how high I needed to make it. So let me just cut this guy off. And I'm just reusing this riser because shutoff valve still works. I have a new one, but this one's still working, so till it goes bad, I'll just keep reusing it. I've attached a couple different times throughout the years, but it'll do just fine. So we'll just clean this up and put another coupler on there. So I normally use the Rain or Shine, the blue glue, because it sets up in like 15 to 30 seconds. Well, it sets up in 15 minutes, but I mean it's hard to even move around after about 15 seconds. So you have to work really fast. But I usually use that because the irrigation systems are usually full of water. Well, not full, but they have water in them. But I haven't turned my irrigation on this season yet, so these pipes are dry. And my Rain or Shine glue was a block of gel. So I'm just going to use the regular red all-purpose stuff. And it's good for, it just takes a little longer for it to set up. But it's just as good. And it's good up to 6-inch pipe, so I don't have any problem with using this. I'm not ready to turn the water on yet anyway, so it's going to be fine. Just do glue on both sides, and then we just stick it into place. Now we can do the other one. Alright, just stick it down in there. And we're good to go. Okay, so I was able to complete everything with the box. I added a little bit of peat moss in there to get it ready for the vegetables. I'll throw a little fertilizer in there when I put the veggies in, but it's fine. Put a little bit of fertilizer down and some grass seed to hopefully get this to grow out a little bit. Nothing else left to do besides reconfiguring my NetFim drip irrigation tubing. It was configured for the other size, and so I'll have to cut those down and make it fit this particular box, but I'll do that when I get ready to add my veggies and seedlings into the box itself. So for now, this is complete. Hey, hopefully you found this project useful in developing a raised garden bed, and if you did, hit the like button or subscribe to my channel for any future projects that I might be doing. Alright everybody, I will talk to you in the next one.